Good evening, everyone. I hope you have all been having a wonderful weekend so far. Let's jump right on into Let's Go Help Too. All right, here we are in Let's Go Help Too, and there's been some new activity since I was in the community. So I'm going to click this little tab, and that's going to show anything new that happened, which is just my posts about tonight's class. Excuse me, guys. I apologize. All right, so tonight's class is hosted out of the Live Meetups collection. I'm going to drop that arrow or triangle down there and head right into the webinars and Q&A sessions space. You can see the live icon there. Here's the page where all of the events from this particular space are hosted. Don't be confused or get thrown. Tomorrow's class with Megan, Navigating the Nation's Grants, has just been rebranded. It's got a little bit of new visual there, but it is still the same class and will happen at the same time. And for some reason, Warren, I'm not able to mute you. Can you mute yourself, please? Warren, I can't mute you. If there continues to be background noise and you don't mute yourself, I'll have to remove you from class. So just be aware, please, if you could mute, that would be wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. And so let's go ahead and jump over to the next tab. And this is where we will place any information that we cover in tonight's class. We may have time for some questions, but that's not really what we're primarily doing here. And for some reason, guys, some of the microphones aren't allowing me to mute them. So please do keep your microphones muted when you come into class, right? All right, thank you so much. All right, so tonight what we're going to do is get together a list of different nonprofits and other types of organizations that would like to support a cause that Collectively Rewilding represents, right? So that would be a natural education, gardening, off-grid, survival mentality, getting people outside, any of the kinds of things that are along that line. And again, when you come in, you'll want to mute yourself, right? Okay, guys. And so Megan is the one that we're really following here in class. She is the in-house expert for nonprofits for Let's Go Help Two's community, and she really knows what she's doing. So I've asked for her help. This was something that my SBDC mentor recommended we work through so that we could start reaching out to get some sponsors or donors, something along those lines, to support the regular costs of a project or some sort of support along those lines, right? So what would be a good example, such as the 2 different marketing campaigns that we have to put out for both members for Collectively Rewilding and content creators for Collectively Rewilding, right? Those are 2 totally different audiences. And so I can go to these different places to talk to them about sponsoring or donating to cover a project like getting more members in, getting more content creators in, something along those lines. And so Megan, now, are you ready for me to hand the floor over to you?
Just about. It's opening right now.
Okay. So we'll give her just a few more moments there. And so Collectively Rewilding is an online forum for people to get together and explore skills in the outside world. I know it almost sounds counterintuitive, but there are so many of us who really don't know what it is to be out and about in various natural settings. And so that's what we talk about over in Collectively Rewilding. We talk about gardening. We talk about the different mindsets that go along with homesteading, off-grid living, prepping, survivalist mentality, right? All of those types of topics and the skill sets that go along with them, which are so broad. Eventually we'll be taking hikes and processing the things out of the garden. Yes, some of them, of course, most of them will be fruits and vegetables, but there are other things that can be done with things that you can grow in the garden. Everything from potpourri to things that you can use to start a fire, right? And so those are all the different kinds of topics that we approach over there. And again, the biggest one is just encouraging people to get outside and get deeper into whatever types of natural activities and environments that each of us are interested in, right? All right, Miss Megan.
All right. It's not working, so I'm just gonna go off the cuff. You know how that works out for us. But no, I'm going to just kind of do a structured uh explanation of how to go about. Okay, so like your cause, right? You just went over all the things that are pertaining to you. So you want to look around your area. So like that'd be your number one thing. It doesn't matter if they're into that kind of thing or not. You want to look into that it's benefiting your community and it's environmental. So you want to look at environmental companies. You want to look at your what are the things around you? You want to go to your community foundation. You want to go to your like the Cliff Bar, anything that's like natural and promoting, like that's their company motto. Those are the companies you want to go towards and see if they want to have an activate, if like you can provide them like a sponsorship so you can do an activation with them, or stuff like that. Like you want to go to something relatable. So all the companies that you can think of that do those types of things, survivalist companies, those are the companies that you're going to ask for partnerships or for sponsorships. But you want to look around you first. So like whatever's around in your direct area, and that's where stakeholder mapping comes in. So hold on, I'm gonna actually maybe that one will work. I forgot about that one. Okay, kind of, yeah, sort of works. So you want to look at your. Why is it doing that? Okay.
Okay, so if you wouldn't mind, walk everybody through that again, because that was relatively complex. In the end, we're looking for locals, but as I was trying to get the Fathom up and running so that you and I can take this material and turn what you're talking about into something more formal, can you walk through what you just explained to us again while you're trying to work with these devices to get them to do what
Yeah.
you want?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay. So, you want to go to like-minded stakeholders. Like anybody that is affected by you doing what you're doing in your area is a stakeholder. Whether it be good or bad. If it's your competition, it doesn't either or, you know. So you want to first look locally for people who are in the same genre, environmental, do it yourself gardening, or like all the way from like the most complex things that you do to all the way to the easiest. So even just like arborists, you would have a stake. They have a stake in what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, if it, are they have to do with trees, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a whole thing. Like I know somebody who just got a grant to plant like she has to plant 40 something trees in the one little city, and
Awesome.
she got almost $1 million for that.
Wow.
So I mean, there's different types of, but that's because she went through the Arbor Day Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
so but there's like different, you have to look at all those things. So like Cliff Bar, that they're very environmentally focused. Think of all the companies that you think of that are very environmentally focused. I can show you the grant that goes to them. Like if you just tell me which ones it is, I can go to it. So like the survivalist companies as well, you can go to them and say, hey, would you like to do an activation? We have a specific audience that is geared towards this, and this. I think that'd pair really well with your, whatever they do. If it's a podcast, you can get on that. Like that's how you start building those relationships. And you want to go to those relationships when you're not needing anything, when you're able to give, so you can start having that one-on-one connection with them before you need anything. And then that way, when something comes up and they'll think of you for the position, so you're positioning yourself because you know that you're aligned already. Whether they know it or not, it doesn't matter. But as long as you're aligned and you guys are, and that's how like organic relationships in this kind of thing start. You want to not have anything do. You don't want to have to be like oh, hey, by the way, also, can we get that grant? You want to be like, hey, okay, this is how we are going to provide value to you. This is what our audience can offer you. Your audience is valuable no matter how big and small because it's people they aren't reaching out to,
Mhm.
so don't get like persuaded by that kind of thing.
No, and I actually have really good participation levels. It is a little daunting when we experience Let's Go Help as a community. We have 15,000 active members, 25,000 total. And of course, many, many, many of those people have never been and won't ever be active in the community. But there are a lot of folks that are in here
Yeah.
active literally 24 hours a day. And so it's very daunting to have your own community and try to compare it. So I don't compare it. For the numbers that I have about a 15 to 20% participation rate in my community. And so
That's great.
there's a lot of growth, but that's a solid amount for a community to experience. For any of you who are out there doing the same kind of thing, right? Don't get overwhelmed by low numbers just as much as one can get overwhelmed by too much. You can get underwhelmed, I guess. But you're looking more at trying to create quality within that community. And yes, grow that community, grow that participation, but don't feel like you have to compete with the bigger audiences. Start with where you are, get consistent. That's really how anything grows. Let's Go Help Too is not where Matthew started online. He actually started with a Reddit style website and he didn't care for that very much. So he moved to the group, the community kind of a feel over in a Facebook group. That was really kind of awful. It was really hard for everybody to use, and it was a very unsafe platform. We did everything we could to keep it as safe as we could, but Facebook is not a safe platform. So we no longer have a presence on Facebook. Now we are in Mighty Networks, but we were here in Mighty Networks as Let's Go Help Too before the Let's Go Help group on Facebook was closed. And it took a while to get the community working over here the way that it used to in that old and no longer there Facebook group, right? And so please, Megan, I wasn't trying to take over.
Mm. No, that's very good, solid advice because like I know with Birth on Buddies when I had my hat when I had its peak when we had tons of engagement and it was so much engagement that we actually would notice when somebody wasn't there. So it was very but then it just all kind of it you go up and down. There's a lot of here, let me see if I can do it.
And I'm for some
There you
reason
go.
not having am I not sharing?
No, mine's working.
Okay, I just wasn't sharing. That was what was going on, and I couldn't find my toolbar. It's like there's somebody in the background, but I can't figure out who it
No,
is.
it was Jack, and I just muted him.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
No problem. There was in the
Okay.
background. It wasn't us. Okay, so you want to start in your own community. Then you want to just branch out and like do it just a general Google search if you can't think of like, can you give me a whole bunch of names? I'm gonna see if I can find their foundations.
Okay, so just off the top of my head with the really big places, that's obviously Starbucks and Subaru to me always come to mind. They're very sustainable minded, conscious companies, as is Google itself. Then for local, there are like army supply companies, gardening supply companies. Yes, even Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's. There.
Okay. Yep. Okay, you're right on the right track. That's perfect. So okay, I have the Giving Back Subaru American Foundation. They are I hear you, sweetheart. I'm sorry. They are, oh wait, let me share my screen actually.
Okay.
I'm like, you guys can't see this. Yay. One more. Let me try that differently. This one. This one. Okay, come on. No, unplug anything. Okay. So do you see how this has a partnership request form? And all I did was hit Subaru Foundation. No, wait, let me go back so you can see the process. So I just wrote Subaru Foundation grants.
Nice.
And then everything is typically due February 25th. So now you know. Most car dealerships are going to be due either in October or the spring. I mean, in the late winter, early spring. So just partnership request form. This is how you get sponsorships.
Okay.
Aside because grants sometimes they have really specific grants. A lot of people. So you want to make sure that like if you're not on their radar, it doesn't mean you shouldn't work with them. It just means you shouldn't do that, you know? Just don't apply for their grant. Ask them for partnership. If you don't see an option that fits you what you want to do, is fine to contact them and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Do you have a way in for me? I want to work with this company. And, you know, and they will provide you that usually.
That's wonderful.
Sometimes they'll tell you to screw off, but it's rare. It's really rare because they're always looking for people too. So it's not like as a funder, now that I've been on both sides of that block, it's as a funder looking for other organizations, you're looking for just organizations that are real, have people that are not just bullcrapping you, have the metrics that are real. And then like so you want to put your investment into them that is going to actually produce results for you as well, because it's your butt on the line too, you know? So you have to look at funders in that sense, coming from like their point of view. Do you look like you should be their partner? You know, and that's kind of how you want to attack every partnership is be the best partner you could be by showing them that they don't have to do a lot of work. Because that's the last thing they want to do. They want to do this partnership and have you promote them and it work out for the both of you, you know?
But there is also the opportunity for those like-minded companies to market their own mindsets and products in classes that
Yeah.
they host in Collectively Rewilding. So it's kind of this unusual additional offering that is there for someone that did want to put in some time to the audience directly.
Yes, but that's where you get your volunteer hours from, and that's where you would have them. That's more of an activation. That's a sponsorship, and then that's also like that you can sell a service at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not that I wouldn't do that as a nonprofit part. I'd do that oh, for your business part.
Well, they could, yes. Okay, so that's getting into the complexities that I need somebody at least mathematically inclined to help me with.
That's
But
not me.
yes, the, the partnership would have that nonprofit element, but they can also be for profit participants as well, making
Right.
money off of their classes. And then, yes, then I would make money off of them making money off of their classes.
Okay, so like that's the whole thing is that when you're looking at partnerships, you are looking at yes, like how they have on here, they have event sponsorship, their philanthropic donation or philanthropic. There we go. Hey now, or your marketing partnership. So if your marketing departments for these larger companies is who you always want to speak to first because they have the most money in their budget. You can actually look at most people's budgets and see how much they have allocated towards marketing. And then just do some background research on okay, so if they've got something 2.2 million, they only have 5 offices, they're spending a lot of money in marketing. And if you can guarantee them an audience, which you can because you have a whole platform, so you're saying, hey, I have however many people you have, that's people they have not spoken to, that is giving them the platform themselves, have being able to go on, that to them is more valuable in the marketing department than it is for a philanthropic donation or an event sponsorship. So you have three approaches with Subaru. So like if Subaru, you can just say, hey, would you like to do an event? And if so, this is the event we're doing this year. How do you see yourself fitting into any of those? And then you have the marketing department where it's a whole nother approach. So you have three different
So,
ways.
like, we're doing gardening planning as our theme for 2026. So, Subaru can talk about how you can get all your gardening materials in your Subaru, right? Like, just that's one basic thing that can be found right out the door that would go right along with our theme.
Yeah, but I mean, even that, it doesn't have to be that. It's just, hey, you guys are environmentally impacting organizations. We are in your area. Is Subaru anywhere near you?
Oh, yeah. We're 45 minutes from Salt Lake City.
Okay, yeah. So then you like we are near here. Could you possibly do a donation of a vehicle that we could use for our event and show people, you know what I'm saying? And then that way you can actually have people buy tickets to a raffle. You have to get signed off on that, but like you could do some type of thing like that. You could do that it's for ticket sales, but then you could also do, hey, would you also like to show up at that said event and explain to the, how your organization helps the earth or how is environmentally friendly and why that's so important to Subaru as a company, because that brings more eyes to what they're doing on their nonprofit side. Then you can go to the marketing company and turn that whole thing around and just be like, so listen, come speak on our platform and I can guarantee this many people, and that's gold to them because that's what they're trying to do. That's the whole point of marketing is getting in front of as many people as possible. So you have so many different ways in. So then we have, what else did you say? Okay, so Home Depot is more of a veterans company. So like if you go to Home Depot Foundation, I'll show you.
Well,
They
it's very good for longevity. Gardening is incredibly good for longevity. And of course, our veterans would have so many things that they could teach in the off grid survival type of mindset. So they would be amazing members all around, as well as loving to give back to veterans. So that's not a negative, I don't feel like, really. I don't know that it would perfectly align, but I feel like it could possibly.
but your basic demographic isn't veterans, right?
Actually, older people like to be in the garden. So, yes, it is quite possible that I have an older clientele or membership quota at points as
I
it
mean,
moves
but
forward.
your specific foundation does not, or your specific
No,
like organization does not serve just veterans.
no, no. In
So,
fact, we're actually looking for suburban and urbanite type of people that haven't been able to really experience much themselves with nature.
okay, so that's like me. I would go like you could do like the retooling your school. I thought this was really cool. They do the impactful funding for transformative campus projects. So if you're ever working with a school, that would be
That
something.
would be so wonderful. I would love. There are, I think, about 5 schools that are within a pretty close range here. There's also about 5 churches where things like that could take place, getting them involved in a garden on the property for the schools, for the churches. There's a
Library.
technical school, there's high school, there's an elementary school literally on this street, right? So definitely.
There's libraries, the guard like yeah, the ouch. There's library. I just hit my funny bone. That's not funny. Oh,
Never, never funny.
it hurt. Why does it do that? But there is a let's go there. Okay, so there's a library program that does for like gardening, not garden, but like a what's it called? Community gardens in the back of those libraries, right? And it's freaking awesome sauce.
I don't know if I know about that one. I have quite a bit of information on like community gardening and things, but that doesn't sound familiar at all.
Oh God, there's so many giving me my access. Okay. So they have let me see if I can find this one. So I'm gonna show you my instrumental, but like that you guys don't have access to that. Sorry. But I mean you can have access to it, but I know people aren't going to spend the money on that. It's a lot. It's a lot and it takes a lot of practice to figure out how to
Why
use
don't you stop your share so that nobody is? Oh, okay, you're good. Well,
it.
kind of.
It's fine. My it knows where I'm at. I forget that I'm not on the right computer. So let me go to so let me just go here and go to one of my programs and just switch my project around because I'm going to show you all the ones that come up. There's so many. Like you have no issue finding grants and like partnerships in that genre in general. It's one of the is one of stop. What is I wonder what how do we say what it's called? What is it? It's is that environmental?
Community gardening,
No, the community gardening thing, yes, but like I know I'll find it if it's what is the like, general genre of that?
sustainability, children gardening. It's how do they say it? My mind just went blank. From farm to schoolhouse or something like that. I'm not sure what angle you're looking for, right? We talked about quite a few different things right there.
It's just collective rewilding. What is it? What genre is that?
Oh, environmental education.
Okay. Why is it going?
That I could not say.
I'm typing away and it's not going. Okay, road.
There's an N before the M.
Yes, there is. Okay. Have you looked at any of these ones? FYI. The same part. I don't know where that is actually. That's not in your area. All right, let me get better focused. I'm going to stop sharing for a second and get get onto my grantable. Because I have to search within my own parameters that I've already set up, and I don't know how to undo that. Because it's hard. Instrumental is so hard to use, but once you use it, you guys, it's amazing.
So you wanted to stop your share. You're getting ready to share
I'm
stuff.
trying to. Oh, I'm trying to. I'm trying to stop my
Okay, let
share.
me just bump it.
Thank you.
Yes.
I couldn't find the toolbar again. Okay. All right. So let me go over there and then I'll show you. So that this is like, okay, the community gardening thing for the libraries is something I saw at another library. I think it's in Tehachapi.
Uh-huh.
And we went up there and they had like the stargazing program. They had built out the whole entire community garden. Where was it? Was it Tehachapi? I'm not sure. But they said they got it from a grant, so that's why I'm trying to find it.
Yes, there are tons of community gardening grants. There are tons of grants to get kids gardening in schools and things like that as well. Hmm.
I want to do a community, a farmers market, but it's really hard to get people to participate in it to get funding for that. They have to,
I have not specifically looked for or seen any funding for something like that. I would have to look into it for sure. Hmm.
but I'd love to do a community garden and then we can have a farmers market from that said garden, but that would,
Right? That's kind of what I'm talking to Candace about is she wants to do a veggie bus in her
oh my gosh, that'd be
area, right?
amazing. Good
Yes.
job.
But she was thinking about growing it on the bus, but that's not enough size, right? So we've talked about it, and she would need at least one, maybe two community gardens. And of course, that's what really starts getting the kids interested in eating the fruits and vegetables is participating with the growing process, right? They get so excited. And so it's kind of the same idea. A couple of community gardens to foster the farmers market. So you might have more luck getting the community gardens going with that being an end goal of those community gardens, getting that funding and then working towards getting that, going with the people that you've been getting funding for or looking for a new source specifically for the farmers market. Even the proceeds that you make could be donated to the project, right? And Abatuan, I can't mute you for some reason, so can you mute yourself, please?
Well, you,
Oh my gosh,
Yes, please.
I got it.
It won't let me mute. I don't understand. I'm the host and it's not letting me mute. I'm really frustrated by what's going on. So anyway, at least you're able to do it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, see, I think that's a great idea. I don't know if that would work for our area because of, we're so rural, but I like that for in a town.
But that's where you could talk about instead of a farmer's market, you could do a CSA. And
Okay.
let me just tell you what a CSA stands for. So a CSA is community supported agriculture. And that you work with those farmers in your area and they actually get to sell a lot more of their produce to the local community through these CSAs. And there might already be some, or you might be able to get that started more readily than starting a farmer's market.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. And there are tons of, let's just do this so that we can get more specific information. A program where consumers buy a share of a local farm's harvest, providing the farmer with upfront capital and a customer with a regular supply of fresh local produce or products like produce, eggs, and or meat.
Ooh, no, we need that.
And so you might be able to get something like that started up more readily if it doesn't already exist, if you can't get the farmer's market. So let's try this again. And so what is your zip code, my dear?
93516. That's a hard one.
There are none specifically in your area. But if you have farmers, they might be interested in doing something like this. I can't see how it would be a negative for them,
I don't
right?
think we have farmers either. Like we don't have farming is like Bakersfield to Hatchby, past the Hatchby area, about an hour away.
Well, there still might be something that you could do.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm logging in.
No, you're great. You're great.
All right. So, okay, we have, oh, it wants me to log in again. I just did this.
I have had sites that do that to me. It's
Why did
very
you do that? Oh, oh. I have to put my code in from my authenticator.
Aha.
All right, please stop. All right, so I'm in. Now let me just go here. We want to do we want to do areas of interest, environment, community, school gardens, environmental education, but bam. Global warming and climate change, no. Green economy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, all that kind of stuff goes along with sustainability.
Okay. Land use planning.
I mean, to a degree, but no, not as much.
Okay. Trails, watershed protection, wilderness, wildlife conservation.
Um, we haven't approached those levels. They're there. There's information on them, but that we're not like educating about them right now or anything. So
All right, so I put that in there, and then we did education, and then target populations. We want to target, who are you targeting?
urban people that haven't had exposure to nature. I don't
Okay,
know how to say that in less words.
right, and people, yeah, no, we're not gonna even check any box, we're just gonna say general. 'Cause we can, narrow that down later. All right, you're looking for not advocacy, capacity building, capital building. You want collaborations, and you want, oh, yes, you want endowments. You don't know it yet, but you do. No, for-profit organizations, general operating support, grassroots, and that's, ooh, land property acquisition. Yes, that too. Okay, I think I clicked all the boxes. Type of grant maker. We want community, corporate, foundation, and are you going for government grants?
If it fits and it works.
Okay. All right, and then, all right, location of the grant maker doesn't matter. All right, done. Research. Submit. Oh, sure, I didn't put your location. It's okay. I can fix that.
Let's see if Gemini can simplify that. Nature deprived.
Okay, that's not a box I could check.
City dwellers. So indoor populations.
That's funny. I'm gonna share my screen right quick.
Okay, let me stop my share.
Okay, so I will make you I will print this out, but here's all the things all the companies that do that. So you could actually approach this two ways: go to marketing, and then also go to their as applying for their grants. So college foundation. A lot of these are due coming up too. But see how like, oh, they only have like one of the things that we checked in there. You want to look for the ones that have like the majority of them. So like these have two at least. So there's that. This one has two. Not really your thing though, but you got, so that's why you gotta kind of just search through, and you'll more so I would talk to the marketing departments on the ones that don't have the numerous of them, you know. This one right here.
Oh, but like biodiversity, right? And environment and animals
Yeah.
general. That's what we're doing as well, like pollinators and
Yes. That.
native plants and sustainability. Those are all key terms, right?
There's an emphasis to the Salt Lake City area and surrounding areas.
And it's got elements of health and wellness built in, absolutely. And we talk about how good it is for kids, and we'll talk about kids in the garden and things like that.
Yep. And then you have the bank grants come open in February. This one says June, which is, oh, their fiscal year probably ends. I don't know. But Union Pacific, this one's actually a freaking awesome grant. Haven't figured it out yet, but when I do, I'll let you know. But if you figure it out, let me know. I'm always too late to it. Um, this one, US Bank is a great grant too. A lot of these. Okay, so like a lot of those you do qualify for. So that was just the generalization of just those. But if you add the more information you add over here, the more honed in this will become. And you can do like you can go and look at any of these. So if you went to go view their profile, it shows you all the information of like what they do exactly. How
Right,
much.
but we won't be able to get into these programs, right?
No, this is free.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
Well,
So,
I'm on a free trial, so there's a free trial at least. But once you do your candid, you should be able like once you get your gold on your candid, which is just putting in your information and making your profile, you get to
after
gold
I
and
got it,
they give you free. They give
after
you
I've gotten the 501c3 status
yeah.
as a Rewilding Foundation.
So until then though, you can just go this way. And then like I mean that's why I have so many email accounts is because I just keep going for my free trials. And then by the time I've gone through them all, they're starting some other program, new free trial thing. So then I just start from the beginning again. Hence why it takes me so long to log in. I have no clue which one I'm on. So and that's my life.
Okay, so what is this
This is just so you can look in the back end. So like you can see
grant.com?
yeah, this is Grant Station. But like you can always go to like this one, the ProPublica stuff too. So you could do that. And that they have all the 990s. So like if you went to from here to there.
Was it .com, grantstation.com?
Yeah, grantstation.com.
Okay, and then ProPublica,
Yep.
and that's how?
I put ProPublica 990. I don't know what comes in. Let's see, hold on.
Now, before I do that, I do need to go and save all of those hex codes that we were using.
Oh, I thought you did that already. So this is called the Mobile Explorer.
Not quite yet. Let me get that done.
And this is completely free. I mean, you can pay for it, but why? But you can do 990 search like oh wow. I don't know. During well, it's not the most on the list. But else is also not the worst. All right, so you can do
Okay, so there, I have that now. I can grab that. And do that with you all. Okay, so we have grantstation.com. We're checking for being out nonprofit partnerships.
yeah. And so you also want to do like this whole article. I always go back to this article because it's a good place to start when I can't find things.
Can you
This
throw that?
article,
Can you
yeah,
throw the link into the chat?
yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm
Now,
coming over. Thank
that's
you,
good.
viewers.
Here is the ProPublica. Okay. Notify. Okay, and then you put it in the chat.
Yep.
Hmm. And this is the article. Okay.
My bad. Let me hold on.
Actually, just pull that up and I'll copy the title there and it'll make it a lot nicer in our code.
Let's see. Okay, so this is where you can actually do the back. Okay, so like this whole thing where you see the 990, how you can do, like, you can see their revenue, their total assets, their total liabilities. You can see how much they're giving per year. And this is how you do your research on like who you want to go to. If you see an organization that you really align with, but they don't give, what's the point of wasting your time? You know, like, yes, put them on a list and make them on an email list for like to let them, put out what you're doing, but don't worry about them. They're like a number 4 on your stakeholders list. But but that doesn't mean they're not going to grow and start giving more eventually. So it's not going to hurt you to be on them, you know? So yeah, I would definitely, I always look everything up just because I'm, one, nosy, and two, because it makes me feel like I have a better informed decisions of where I should spend my time cultivating.
Absolutely.
So that's another way to do it.
All right. So will you be able to send me a list, or do I need to do this then afterwards as well?
I mean, I can send you this list right here.
Perfect.
And then I would take it to ProPublica and then what?
Walk through the same process. And the more key terms, the better. Right?
I don't know why I keep muting.
I'm not sure, but there you are.
Why is it doing that? It's weird. Okay, go
I
ahead.
don't know. And it wouldn't let me mute people. Like, it's like Zoom is having.
It's muting me all crazy. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, yeah. What did you ask?
So you do the same basic thing with, or as many key terms as possible. That was my question.
Yeah, but I like to do is like less than 3 key terms, just
Oh,
because that way it really focuses mine in. But sometimes I end up with like 2 grants, and so it depends on what you're looking
so
for.
maybe just do it with different groupings of key terms that would apply
Yeah,
to it.
play around with it, it's for sure. Let me export this real fast
Thank
before I forget. Where's this? Where does it allow us to do such a thing? So I know I've done it before. Okay, okay, okay. No, 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 no. I want this list. Fine. No. What if I save it? Oh no, we aren't doing all that right now.
you. Right?
I'll figure it out.
And if not, then you've walked us through how to use it and where we're going for it. So
Yeah.
that's really the point, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that's why I wanted to give it to you.
I would love it if you could, but also I did turn on my Fathom and we talked
Oh,
about
perfect.
quite a few of their names and things like that. So
Okay, yeah. I've never heard of this before.
I have not heard of that one either.
You know
No.
what? Why isn't it mentioning Cliff? Because Cliff is like your number 1 supporter. It doesn't have that on there.
Cliff Bars, you mean?
Yeah.
Hmm. Maybe because their main focus is going to be health, so it didn't click that one on as.
It's not. It's environmental. They are very much so
I'm not sure. But
good with us.
that looks like Colorado.
Yeah, they're very, 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 it's all environmental stuff. They don't really, it's not health central. So they have one that if you get, I remember that the lady we had, the Della, she came on and spoke to us. She had gotten the invite only, and then she won that grant, and
No,
then she started
but I
writing for the USDA, and then man, it took off from there.
wow.
This was her opening. This was her opening grant. Was she got the $5,000 like 5 years in a row? And she's like, "Bro, listen, help me, help you." And then finally, they gave her some the invite, and because she kept winning the 5,000, kept winning, kept winning. But then so she's like, "What's up, man?" And so they finally gave her the $50,000 one. She took that and leveraged it with the USDA, and the USDA matched it. She used it as a match grant, and then it just popped from there. And then every year she's been getting $1 million funding.
Wow, that's amazing.
So she and her story, I have her story on my YouTube, but she also did live in Lesko. I just don't know what kind of date that was. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure when that was, but yeah, it's on there. But this one's awesome. And she says if you can just get into talking to them, that's when they get more so involved with you, and they'll start. They said they come out to every event she does. They come out to, they do everything. They partner with her like genuinely. So I think that's awesome.
It is.
So, and
And it looks like Colorado. I mean, I could be wrong, but it sure looks like Colorado to me.
Yeah, so this is the only people that this is the only, you must have an operating budget though under 3 million. Operate as a grassroots level and implement change at the local, state, and national level. That's all you. Focus their work primarily in the United States, and then advance our strategic priorities and their values, which are mission, oh yeah, people power, health, climate, food systems, transformation systems, systemic change, root causes of societal problems, just as yeah, everything really. Partnerships are essential. Oh my God, ingenuity. What? How do you say that?
Ingenuity.
Thank you. I knew that I just couldn't get it out. Yeah, they have a lot of oh cute. I like this little website. Oh, their values are joy and then nature, like specifically. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
But
and it definitely
I feel
seems
like you're very aligned for this one.
yeah, because it is about bringing it to everyone, right? And then I feel that those who tend to lack what we're talking about the most are going to be in your inner cities, in your suburban areas, even, and things like that.
Yeah.
Especially the poorer suburban areas, right?
There. Yeah, I put it in the chat for you right now. Because they're due March 1st and August 1st.
Okay.
And I get everybody, like, as you go, my knowledge of what grants are available is just from experience and like going and talking to people, being in groups, listening to what other people have gotten. So like just because somebody doesn't like how grantable, that's supposed to be like the bee's knees of knowing all the grants available, and it didn't know. So you will start collecting information like this and piling it in your brain. So keep notes and keep track of who you're speaking to, why you're speaking to them. I'm telling you, I know that sounds stupid, but always write down why you're speaking to them, because you sometimes you'll go back a couple months later and be like, why did I call them? Who are they? You know, and that sucks. Don't do that. I did that a lot. So now I keep track. I have conversation little markers in my Excel spreadsheet of who I speak to. So I have a plan. And we have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
For some of us that are just standing up with non-profit, uh, who, who, how should we approach this? I've not even registered yet my non-profit.
So for your best bet right now, you should go in and you should watch the classes that Megan and I have already done, because we've walked through it literally step by step for you, and that's all listed. So here we are in the teaching sessions, okay? And we're on the call answers. But where you want to go is the final tab, Abadwan, to replays. All right. And I'm going to tag you in it. So don't worry, you will get a notification, but I want you to know how to
Thank
get
you.
there on your own as well.
Thank you.
Okay?
Good.
Absolutely. And
Good.
it's the first unit here. It's the open unit, right?
Okay.
The others are all closed on presentation. This one is open, and it's step by step what Megan has worked with me to start my own nonprofit for my for-profit business. Like they work together, right? And so it's
Okay.
step by step.
Okay.
I'm going to tag you if I'm still able to. If not, I'll just share the unit to you one way or the other, though. We'll get you on there.
So, I'm amazed. Somebody got a $5,000 grant and then jumped to 50,000 and then jumped to $1 million.
Well, that was time, though, right? If you want to
That
talk
was
about
over 5 years.
again,
Yeah.
it was a lot more than just one $5,000 grant. Please, Megan.
Yeah, no, they were, it was over 5 years. And it wasn't like that was the only grants that they were getting. She worked for an organization and she was writing for them as a freelance writer. She just started writing and she was getting $5,000. She couldn't get past that barrier. It was actually, all she wanted was that invite only grant. But once they do an invite only, that a lot of those grants, it's like, it's not a given, but it's a very strong indicator that they are very much so wanting to give to you. So you want to make sure that everything is in place and ready for them to be able to do that, because that is it's really important when you have an invite only to be is the best, like make your organization look the best it could be, because when you do get those, it is most likely it's rare that you don't get them. They don't bother doing that unless they want you to actually apply and they want to take a closer look at your organization. So make your organization ready to be closer looked at, in other words. But yeah, and then she can leverage, and that's the whole thing is once you get a grant, just like how, money, having money also like gets you more money type thing. It's like the same type of thing with grants. Grants begets more grants. Once you win, you take that winnings and you leverage it. You take your volunteer times and you leverage that. You say, hey, look, we've already raised all this money. Why don't you just come join us? You're not asking for anything. You're asking them, you're giving them the opportunity to join your organization and then run from there together. So it's not like a hey, do this for us. It's hey, do this with us.
Yeah, I live in Washington State. Nature, gardening, it's anything here. So this, I mean, one can think of non-profit on what, apart from gardening.
Oh, that's just what I'm doing. What you're
Yeah,
doing can be whatever you want to do.
yeah. Yes,
Well,
yes. Okay.
you want to, if you want to figure out what you want to do, you need to go look at what's needed. Not, I mean, if you're open to doing something that is needed, that's where you should start. Go and look at your strategic plan for your city and see what areas they're focusing on, because then you're aligned with your county, your state, and your city for funding, and that's where you really want to be.
Okay, so I can get that strategic plan for my state or city, my county. Okay, let me.
That's what you'll be working on, right? We're giving you the guidance, the step-by-step areas that you need to do for the overall nonprofit. But then those kinds of things are what you can work with. If you want somebody to work with directly for those kinds of things, Abadwan, that's where you can go and you can get a score.org mentor. SBDCs, they don't work with nonprofits. The only reason I can work with my SBDC mentor on my nonprofit is because he offered the suggestion of forming a nonprofit to help solve some of the problems I was having with my for-profit business. So to
Okay,
have a mentor for a nonprofit, you go to score.org. Okay. And I'll put this into your post.
thank
Score.org
you.
is very easy. Find a mentor, search for a mentor. That's all you have to do. I'll put that one in there as well.
Okay,
And then you're just going to search for a mentor from Score.
okay, that will give me idea of what nonprofit to form or whatever. Okay.
And you're what city and state are you in? I mean, you said Washington, but what?
I'm in Washington State. I'm in Olympia.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look that up with us. I'm gonna get your strategic plan.
I appreciate that. I really do.
So this will be a strategic plan for deciding what kind of nonprofit he would
Yeah,
start.
Yeah,
it's gonna
yeah,
be a
the
strategic
profit.
plan for his county, so that way he knows where the things are needed. Because like they're not gonna put money towards things that they don't need.
Exactly.
All right. Yep. Here it is.
And you're throwing that in the chat?
Yes, I will. I'm trying to. It's not opening. There we go. Okay. And there's even people you can call first thing. So like you have a neighbor. Okay, hold on. You want to share my screen?
Okay.
Sorry, we'll go back and forth. This is fun.
I
Okay.
appreciate
So
you ladies.
here's
Thank
you
you.
right here. And then you have this person who you get to talk to. I would definitely call her just because you're gonna start a nonprofit and she's involved. So you want to make sure you just make friends. And then you go here, like, okay, recently completed. Here's a city center's report. Read the summary of city council's discussion about this report. So you have all these things to look at, right? Environmental statements,
Hmm.
all of these things. And then you have your financial stuff so you can see where they actually put their money in. But you can go to the actual comprehensive plan and then go through the table of contents, find, oh my goodness, what is this? Oh. Okay, so comprehensive plan. How do I open? I don't really want to know the process. I just want to see it. I feel like we did that already. Now we're going in circles. How do I get into this? No. Yeah, no. Is this it?
Okay, I do have to go and do something. We're at the end of the hour,
Okay.
but I
All
will
right.
put you as full host, and then
Well,
this will, yeah.
I have to go feed cats, but yeah. They're crying in the background. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're very annoying.
Oh, thank goodness, because that would make it very difficult for me to sit here quietly because I can't stand hearing babies crying.
I can't handle it either. It's horrible.
Okay, so,
Oh, there we go. I figured out how to use it. Okay, so you just hit the go button, and then you're good to go. So here's everything that you need to know.
and I did get
I
the
appreciate
link that you
that.
put in the chat, and I'll add that to your post in
Oh,
Let's
yep,
Go
yep,
Help
yep.
To,
And then here
Abattoir.
you go. This is their comprehensive plan with those chapters and like the different things that they're worried about. These are where you want to go through and kind of just see what they're putting their money behind. That's where you
Hmm.
put your money behind. Go over their goals. Those are your goals. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have
Just
such a
sort
hard
of.
time leaving when during the middle of this. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop now. Okay, 13 goals.
Hmm.
Bam. Planning goals. I don't know how to read all that. Oh, right here. Urban growth, reduce sprawl, transportation. That's a good one. Housing, economic development, property rights, private property, permitting. Yeah, okay. So I would start at the very top, whatever their first goals are,
Mm-hmm.
and then see where you want it, where you want to fit in. And then that way you can always just say, hey, we're helping our town, reach their goals of meeting da 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 da. So
Hmm. That's the way to do it. Thank you.
no problem. All right. I can be done now too. I have to let that go. That was hard.
Well, because you're so good and you find just amazing things. But you have all that information, Abattoir. You have the direct link to the action plan for your nonprofit so that you can see the step-by-step instructions that Megan's guiding us through to starting a nonprofit. Then you have the homepage for SCORE and where you go to search for a mentor. Then you have the comprehensive plan for the city of Olympia. Okay?
Okay.
And we'll just,
Okay.
of course, throw on there how to bookmark or save.
Score.com. Okay.
Okay, and that's where you're going
Score.gov.
to go into your
All right.
notifications like we've talked about before. Are you
Yeah.
pretty comfortable getting that now? Getting that answer that we just put together?
I will go on to, yeah, I mean,
Getting into that notification bell.
hello?
Remember, we've walked through this a couple of times, right? Where you go next to your picture, which I think was gray, maybe it was either gray or green, and
Mm-hmm.
it had the geometric lines
Mm-hmm.
in it, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And right next to it is the notification bell with that big yellow block on it.
Yeah, yes.
It'll say something like Sabrina Giesler, Abaddon Falecki, and trail
Mm-hmm.
off, or
Mm-hmm.
your host
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina Giesler has mentioned or tagged you in a post. And that's
Okay,
going to be
I've
all
seen
this
it.
information that we just talked about. Okay?
I've seen it.
Wonderful. All right. Let's jump into our calendar, guys. So, Miss Megan is going to be back with you all to talk about more nonprofit information tomorrow, Sunday at 5:15 p.m. Pacific, 6:15 p.m. Mountain, 7:15 p.m. Central, and 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be the nonprofit call, going over the guide that we have here in Let's Go Help To, and just your nonprofit questions in general. And then at the next quarter of an hour, she'll be right back, right? So she's going to be back with you. Let's Go Help presents Navigating the Nation's Grants, a comprehensive training by Fund Nation. And that is tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Mountain, 8:30 Central, and 9:30 Eastern. And I will be back with you guys this Tuesday, both with meetups with Matthew Lesko. We better say that one too, right? Don't forget, Matthew's coming live now every week to talk to you guys just like this, where you can ask him questions and he can answer and you can ask him another question. And that is going to be Tuesday, December 2nd. And that will start at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 2 o'clock Mountain, 3 o'clock Central, and 4 o'clock Eastern. And quickly following, I will be back with you again. Q&A with Sabrina. Any questions you guys need, that will be Tuesday, December 2nd at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 Mountain, 6:30 Central, and 7:30 Eastern. All right, guys. Hope to see you there. And at all the other wonderful classes between, please feel free to unmute and say goodnight, everyone.
Thank you. Have a
All
great
right,
rest
good
of your
night.
night.
Bye, guys. Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.